what you want to see if you're the Toronto Paradox. Boom goes the dynamite as Haxie is gone, and boom goes that wall. Armor's going to take some damage. He gets into an early engagement. I believe it is XJ inside of Garage. He's playing those rafters, and he's going to play to get a kill as he takes down Armor. Armor 0 for 2 on entry so far. He's not having a great time. Caleb, I believe this is, no, it's not Caleb, I believe it's Astro, the second entry for the Tidal Wave. He is stuck in CCTV. He's going to engage with XJ. He lights up XJ, and good coordination from Nocturnal from within the garage shuts down XJ. That pincer maneuver working out beautifully for the Tampa Bay Tidal Wave as they reclaim the man advantage. It's all down to the 3 anchors left on site proper. For V3, as drone work is coming out in earnest now, all of Tampa Bay on their drones. They know they have map control, and they know it's time to get to business and get their positioning just right so they can execute flawlessly. Obviously, the loss of Nomad means there is no flank watch, but you don't really need flank watch because they've gained all of map control. Sure, could be useful in a post-plant situation, but at this point, we'll see if they even need the Nomad with the manpower advantage they have now. Caleb, he's going to be the first to make a push in earnest. He's pushing down main stairs. Toronto's opted to leave part of that bar wall soft. Caleb's going to have to play this carefully. He thinks someone's in moto, but he's going to be mistaken. Astro's in blue. He's got 2 on him, and he's all alone right there. He's going to have to make a decent enough distraction. That Valkyrie cam... Oh, he dodged the Nitrotel just in time. The Valkyrie cam gave them a proper call-out. But the frag also, but it also meant that the defenders had incoming knowledge that the frag was on the way. All 3 Banshees taken down. Munch secures Caleb. Ducky's the next to fall. The man advantage has slipped from Tampa Bay's fingers, and in comes Astro. He comes in just at the right time as he refrags Ducky. It's a 2v2. Arabs and Munch are the last alive for the Toronto Paradox. Arabs takes down Nocturnal and it's down to a 1v2 situation for Astro. He's stuck behind the big box inside of Arsenal Room. There's a bulletproof cam on his right. They know exactly where he is, but he knows exactly where Arabs is. And oh, that debris on the... No, he pulls out the pistol. He doesn't get off to... He doesn't manage to kill the Pulse. He whips out the pistol just in time. I'm not sure if he was out of ammo or if he just felt he could take that engagement with the pistol. He didn't even peek. He just straight peeked it. Not what you want to see, considering that was a very winnable situation, and the debris on the shelf really screwed him because it stopped so many of his bullets. Tampa, off to a very rough start. I'm not sure why. Tampa looked like one of our stronger teams in the preseason matches and in the scrim results that we've seen reported by our teams. But so far, they're yet to make a big splash in Hyper Series. Maybe they just take time to gear up. Remember, it took them 6 rounds until they won 4 in a row last week on Chalet. But I don't think they're in the state they want to be. You never want to have to take that long to warm up, and you never want to drop at more than 2 rounds in a row, if I'm being honest. You want to make sure you can go tit for tat against your opponent. Toronto, remember, Toronto did get off to a hot start last game, but it did slip away from them as Ottawa kicked into high gear. Maybe Ottawa figured them out. Maybe Toronto is just a team that you have to figure out, and once you have, it becomes much easier to really go toe-to-toe with them. We'll see if Tampa can adapt to that and pull back some rounds, because at the moment, their chances of pulling out an advantage coming out of the half are slipping, and their chances of coming out of this half with anything more than a split are slipping as well. If they lose this round, the best they can hope for is a 3-3. Let's see if there's any spawn peaks coming out from the Toronto Paradox side. I don't believe there are. Everyone's going to play things pretty safe. XJ is on a roam. I believe there's numerous roamers. Toronto, very spread out. Their 2 roamers are deep. Arabs is inside of Dirt Tunnel. And then XJ is all the way down in, he's in Kitchen. So yeah, pretty spread out. 3 anchors and 2 roamers. I'd say is a decent split for Clubhouse. Astro, Armor, Caleb, they're all going to attempt to gain map control. Toronto has completely surrendered Cash. which is peculiar to me. They're going to rely on castle barricades and reinforced walls to slow them down, but I'm not sure if that's really the play. We've seen time and time again, holding cash is such an important part to truly defending gym bedroom. They do have a mirror window inside of construction, which will go a long way into holding off the attack from construction, but it's still not the same as holding cash itself. It's going to be a lot of roof play from Tampa as they look to take their first round. Oh no, Caleb! That's not really how you use a sledgehammer. You really expose yourself there when you didn't need to, and he takes damage as a result. 2 castle barricades down, 2 to go. I believe the last ones are spent inside of construction. Haxi is the first to fall. That gets rid of a crucial mirror window that will give Tampa control of construction unless LG can move into position and refrag. Nocturnal hops in. LG must have heard that audio cue, but there's also someone on the hatch waiting. He gets droned out, and oh, the drone. Excellent distraction play from them. Astro takes out LG. Tampa's pulled out a big man advantage, but Toronto's going to look to claw it back. Munch takes out Ducky, but Caleb refrags on a Munch. It's a 4v2 situation as Astro pushes in for his next frag, and he will get as he takes out XJ, and it's a 1v4 for Arabs, who's on a retake. He's pushing into the construction room. He's looking at that mirror window, but there's no one on there. They've probably heard the audio cue by now. Does he hear the person planting? He does find Nocturnal, but Astro right there to refrag immediately, and Tampa pulls their first round. It's 2-1 in favor of Toronto. And we are going to pause momentarily as Caleb is reporting he's reporting a bit of a lagging issue, so we're just going to take a small technical pause, folks, for just a few seconds until Caleb can rejoin. Hopefully, I believe he's going to reset his internet. And I believe some other players are struggling with ping, so they're going to get that figured out rather quickly. And that will also give us the opportunity to fix something rather quickly. There we go, just updating some stream information, folks. And do not forget, please feel free to contribute your team points or your channel points to our community goal. If you want to see a Rainbow's Magic show match casted officially on the channel with some of our best players, feel free to donate your channel points. I believe the target is 750,000. How do you gain channel points, you ask? I mean, the only way is by watching our stream. The more you watch, the more channel points you get, and you can use those channel points to bet on predictions. If you're right, depending on the odds, you can triple or double or quadruple your total. So yeah, continue to watch Hyper Series. If you guys scratch our back, we'll scratch yours with more entertainment. But we're gonna we'd like to put on a show event, but only if the interest is there in the form of our community goal. Okay, we're going back to cash. Site rotation complete for the Toronto Paradox. They are back to CCTV cash, which they won their first time around, but it's been 3 rounds. They're allowed to go back there again. Tampa is bringing a much different lineup this time. They've foregone the OSA EMPs. They're going to do things the old-fashioned way with Ducky on the Maverick. And then Nocturnal, obviously. Oh! Armor! Excellent opening pick from downstairs with the M249. He takes out Arabs, who was walking or chopping through that garage window. Good pick. Haxi, he spots the Ash of Astro, but they've brought the right material to take out the Kiba barrier, but they haven't brought the right fragger, because Astro gets shut down rather early. That is a big pick for the Toronto Paradox. Astro has been ripping them up. He has more kills than the entire Tampa roster combined. He's at 8-3. Everyone else on Tampa has 1 combined. And Armor's the next to fall. Haxi collects the Capital, and Tampa's attacks, they have not been able to attack this site with any modicum of success. It's really unfortunate for the Tidal Wave team. Nocturnal's going to detonate his exothermic charge, and boom goes the main wall on cash, but there's a Surrey Gate in the way, but that's exactly why Maverick's got those stuns to deal with that. However, the wall is only vaultable. That will put any Tampa player who walks in through there into a bad animation lock. Ducky lights up Haxi with the M4, but it's not enough. He only takes about a quarter off of Haxi's health as Haxi retreats further into the rafters behind his strong Kiba barriers. And there is no utility left on the Tampa Bay side to deal with those Kiba barriers, except for those 2 frag grenades, which Tampa are going to want to only use in a last-ditch situation, which they have. Excellent work with that frag from Caleb as he dislodges Haxi from the garage rafters. And oh, Caleb, he hears the flank coming in from below, inside near blue. And oh, he's going to peek. It's Munch versus Caleb. He lights up Munch, both with SMGs. Remember, Nuck, one of the only attackers with an SMG right next to Zero. Caleb's coming in from blue. HEL device active. Reduces his noise and makes him invisible to cameras. He's coming up rather quietly, rather slowly, and it's worked. Caleb does catch Munch off guard. That HEL coming in clutch. It really reduced his sound footprint. Excellently cooked nade comes in, and it takes out LG, and Ducky's right there to collect XJ. Much, much better from the Tampa Bay Tidal Wave to claw back that round. Excellent play from Caleb right there to collect the 3-piece. Much, much better round from the Tidal Wave, I will say. So that is our round summary for just a moment here. I'm going to get just clocking in some stats for you folks.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
And back to Church Arsenal. Faith shaken in the CCTV cache set up for the Paradox, and they're in Church Arsenal now. Let's see if they can have some more luck down here. They've gone with a very different lineup. They have foregone the Kaid because last time Tampa didn't even play hatches. With Hibana gone, it's a much, much bigger ask to use your hard breach utility on those hatches. They've brought Thermite, but it's really a waste of the exothermic to use it on both hatches, especially when you want to get maybe one of the walls. We'll see what Tampa's cooking up here.
Attackers are moving out to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Okay. On to round number 5. This one's going by rather quickly, but we're still at a 2-2 standstill. It's a heavier roaming, not a heavy roaming presence. Again, Toronto's going for the 3-2 split in roamers. XJ is on the roam with the Malusi inside of bedroom. Then Haxi is all the way inside of cache. They're going to attempt to maintain top floor control and attempt to go, I guess, bottom down on any retake attempts for the Paradox defense. Tampa's brought no hard breach utility except for the Thermite and Nocturnal. I'm surprised they've foregone any operator with hard breach charges. Caleb, oh, he knows exactly where XJ is, but the double counter to take out XJ on bedroom fails. And Haxi didn't even need to come to support. Tampa's openers have struggled so far, and they've really, really struggled to get any frags in the opening rounds. The opening of the round, except for I believe it was round 3 when Astro went a little bit crazy. Tampa, you've got to get those openers under control, because right now you're losing manpower faster than you'd like. They've clawed it back, however. This round is not a lost cause. We've seen last round that that's not the case, because Tampa is able to get those refrags. I hope it's not a case of Toronto getting too complacent once they get those opening frags. Even if you get 2 frags as the roamer, you still don't, it's not okay for you to die. You should still stay up. You should still do your best to increase your survivability as long as possible. So but again, Toronto's made no attempts to get clawback map control. As soon as their roamers are gone, they haven't done anything. Now they're content to wait for Tampa to come to them, and last time they waited for that, it didn't go too well, considering the last 2 rounds. There's no soft destruction left on the side of Tampa. They're going to have to do things the good old-fashioned way with high-caliber assault rifles and wooden floors. Ducky has 2 EMPs, 3 stuns, and 2 smokes, so all grenades still left on the board for the Tampa Bay Tidal Wave, along with 6 drones. Only 4 have been taken out by the Toronto Paradox. Everyone on the Paradox are holding firm in their positions, all holding a cross angle onto the main stairs. However, there's going to be a roam coming out. Nocturnal gets taken out by Arabs, and Armor's coming in from blue. So Nocturnal gone, but he did his job. The hard breach is open, but he struggled kill-wise. Ducky, he rapid fires with the EVR-14, but it's not enough. Armor collects to LG, and it's a 2v1 situation. He's getting soft pings, but Arab's also getting soft pings, probably spotted by a Valkyrie cam. Toronto breaks the streak, and they take a round. It's now 3-2 Toronto, and the best Tampa can hope for is a 3-3 attacking split, with the final attacking round coming up right now. So again, Tampa, I mean, obviously I criticized Toronto's quick surrender of map control, but I guess they were rather confident in their ability to hold that room, and it paid off. They managed to collect the frags where they needed to, but Tampa's openers are the real question I'm struggling with. Astro is killless through 2, which is unfortunate, especially considering what a big effect he's had on the team so far. He still remains the player with the most kills despite having no kills through 2 rounds. I think we're going to need, because he has it in him, but so far Astro and Caleb have struggled as the openers, or the entries, for the Tampa Bay Tidal Wave. And entry kills are so important. Now remember, folks, Toronto struggled against the Ottawa Rays last week, and obviously it's still a young season, but as the weeks go by, we sort of get a indication of what teams are strong and which teams are a little bit less strong. It's clear, like, roster-wise, and if you ask the community, they'll tell you, based on what we've seen, the Ottawa Rays and Toronto Paradox are 2 teams on perhaps the lower end of the talent spectrum. I remain unbiased. I'm going to let the play speak for itself, but this is what the community has said. This is what our players union has said, right, based on gameplay alone. So if Toronto's struggling against Tampa, or if Tampa's struggling against Toronto, where is Tampa really? Considering many said they are one of the stronger teams in the league. Some said even the strongest team in the East, or second strongest in the East. What's going on then, since Tampa struggled so heavily? And yes, they had a good revival and reinvigoration on Chalet after they dropped 6 rounds in a row. They took 4 off Calgary. Caleb takes out Arabs, but Munch is right there to collect the entry, so the entry is essentially negated. So Caleb is the next to fall. Again, his struggles see no end. Astro, good opening for me. He takes out Munch. And that gives them map control. Once again, the last 3 Toronto players are... No, sorry, I am wrong, as XJ is playing down below inside of the blue stairs stock, or garage storage, as the official call-out says. So much more spread out defense for the Paradox. Everyone is in a different room, basically a different part of the map, as Tampa moves into position. Astro, he's going to look to collect his 10th kill. He could be the first player to break into double digits in the lobby. He does get the call out. He does have drone work going for him, and he knows that there is, I think that was Haxi playing us out of cash, as he pre-fires with the C7E. Not sure if any other players are on the roam or anyone's coming in for a flank attempt. No, everyone for Toronto has collapsed onto site, and everyone in Tampa has collapsed into construction. In come some stun grenades. There's still 2 stuns and 4 smokes left on the side of the tidal wave, and that Kiba barrier will require them to waste some form of utility. I'm not sure if Ducky's brought the gun 6 on Lion. They're going to attempt to get the wall open, but I think there's still a mute jammer. EMPs have been spent. Yep, nope, it's not going to happen. The EMPs have been wasted already. There it is. That is not going to be the main wall open. Armor's into sight. The stun play working out beautifully as he takes out LG. He goes for a double, and he takes out XJ. And it's all down to Haxi in a 1v4, and he's not going to win it. Ducky's right there to counter him. He knew where Haxi was, or at least he spotted him on the retake. The Tidal Wave will tie up the half. 3-3. Not the optimal result, and not the worst, in any sense of the word. So, side swap underway now. Toronto will go on to defense, onto attack, and Tampa will go on to defense. We saw last week Toronto's attacks struggle. Let's see if we see any change in that, and let's see what Tampa can. Sorry about that, folks. We'll see what Tampa can cook up on defense, because Tampa's defense on Chalet was abysmal, dropping 6 rounds in a row. Uh, we'll see. We'll see if that was the map or if it was just an off day. Remember, Tampa had just come to.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Yeah, sorry about that, folks. Just a bit of a technical difficulty. To anyone watching the stream, apologies for the lagging you're about to see. That was just a quick ping spike, I believe.
Attackers have located a bomb.
So, Tampa foregoes gym bedroom and CCTV cache to defend Arsenal Church as their first defensive round of the second half. Let's see what they can pull off here. They've opted to bring Amira, Wamai, Malusi, Smoke. It's a very different philosophy for the Tampa Bay Tidal Wave on defense. I will get you the Discord in a second, Tom. Just give me 1 minute. Apologies. It's a slower attack for the Toronto Paradox. They do have map control though, because not I don't really think full map control just yet. I have to see where all of Tampa's players are positioned. There's actually no, it is map control. The only roamer they have is Armor playing inside of Blue Stairs. They've opted to give up the hatches. They've opted to give up almost everything, and they would rather take the fight head on site. Let's see what they can do with that. Because obviously we saw Toronto opt for the same play, and we questioned taking the fight on site, but they pulled it off. We'll see if Tampa can do the same. I don't think... Oh, it's pronable, but it's not optimal, LG. Never put yourself in a position like that, as Nocturnal gets his second frag of the game, and Tampa gives Tampa the opener. Sorry. As Arabs moves back into kitchen, the hatch has not been opened, and I'm not sure if they have any materials to open it anyways. Let me see. They do have one hard breach charge on XJ's Buck. I think he's going to come over to use it in just a second. Down comes, I believe it's Munch on the main stairs. The Thermite, he comes face to face with Ducky behind that deployable shield. And in comes some smoke grenades. He peeks around the corner, but he looks the wrong way. Ducky is prepared for him. He peeks right around that deployable shield of his, and he has that main hallway on lockdown. XJ heavily damaged. Arabs heavily damaged. At Haxi at full. Tampa has lost no players so far as XJ and Arabs begin to play into blue. It's not going to be easy for them as Arabs is the next to fall. It's down to XJ. He is the next to fall. They're falling like dominoes from the Toronto Paradox side. This attack has gone nowhere. Haxi is staring down the barrel of 3 different defenders. Now he's staring down into a dirt box because Tampa has just pulled off a flawless on their first defending round on Clubhouse. So, Tampa's made a statement with their first defense. That is obviously a very, very good way to start the second half, I must say. Hopefully they can continue that and put their first 3 points on the board. hopefully they can put their first 3 points on the board and make something happen. Uh, we'll see if they can continue this form, is all I'm going to say.
Attackers need to locate and defuse bombs.
So they're going to go to CCTV Cache. They had a rather unique setup on Church Arsenal. Let's see if they can pull out the same thing here on CCTV Cache. Clubhouse is a map that's, I don't want to say played out, but it kind of is. We've seen it for so many years. It's remained unchanged for so many years. Remember, um, Clubhouse, the last change I think it got, like last major change, was like year. Was
10
it
seconds
Blood
left
Orchid?
before insertion.
When they first announced they were trying out map reworks. I think it was sometime in year 2 or year 3. My memory is pretty foggy. But
Attackers objective
it hasn't been changed except for like doubling this box right here. Clubhouse hasn't changed. And it's amazing. I love Clubhouse still after all these years, but you can't say it's not played out. So you really, I think, bringing out any unique strategy like what they're trying with the mirror last round or anything they're trying now is I think it's worth the risk, especially since if it's done well, it could really change up the outcome of the match. Obviously, it gave them a flawless. Let's see if they can pull off another flawless here. Again, I doubt it, but anything's possible. This is Hyper Series. Anything that happens, usually happens regardless. So main wall's open. Those Selma Aqua Breach charges are working beautifully. They're going to give Tampa two vault-sized holes. Or sorry, Toronto two vault-sized holes as Munch is the first to fall. There goes Sledge. He is on the ground. I think he fell. I don't think he was killed. Yeah, I believe he fell trying to do the ventilation trick look inside of Logi. And that's not going to be a good start for the Toronto Paradox, who essentially damaged their own player. Now, Tampa has a very spread out lineup. They have players playing down below. They have an entire setup downstairs inside of Lounge with a deployable shield, castle barricade to give them some cover. Arab's the next to fall. There goes the Yana entry frag, and that takes 2 grenades off the board for the Toronto Paradox. It leaves them with 2 on Munch, who at his current health situation may not even get to use them. He is coming up behind, I believe it's Nocturnal playing in construction. He opts to prone. Sorry, I think that's Caleb. He opts to prone Caleb and Munch, staring each other down as Caleb will fry Munch like some fish and chips. Munch falls. That takes out every frag on the Paradox side. Not a single one was used to any effect to deal with utility or to deal with a player. Tampa's off to a fantastic start on defense so far. LG, XJ, and Haxie are all that remain between giving Tampa their biggest lead of the game. Haxie's peeking straight down the barrel of his AK-12, and he will fry Caleb. Caleb's the next to fall. He got 1 frag, and he's gonna go down into the ground. Toronto's looking to claw this back, but it's looking unlikely considering Toronto hasn't dislodged any players from downstairs inside of Lounge. This armor play could prove to be devastating to any Toronto attack. XJ takes down Nocturnal. Now Tampa's left with a conundrum of, do we ask Armor to come back, to collapse? I think that he collapses if this flank doesn't go off well, and this flank is going to go off well. He takes out the IQ of XJ, he takes out Haxie, and he cannot collect Astro. Or sorry, it's like he cannot collect LG. LG collects Ducky. Armor's down below, but they're going to win on time. Far too close for comfort for the Tampa Bay Tidal Wave. Astro with a Herculean effort so far. 14 kills, double the second player on Tampa, and double any of the players on the Toronto Paradox. Tampa has their biggest lead of the game. They've won 3 rounds in a row. So, pretty incredible stuff from the Tampa defense. They have really, really stepped up their game. Obviously, again, hot start, kind of selling. They had the same thing as what happened on Chalet. Took 2 rounds in pretty convincing fashion, and then boom, they sputtered out. Obviously not an optimal situation, but it is what it is. Toronto's going to look to
Defenders,
take
protect
back
your bombs
at
from being
least
defused by
3 rounds and at least get themselves a point on the board. They don't want to be one of the only teams left in the East with 0 points, obviously. Especially playing in what most will call the stronger conference. Well, this is interesting here. They're relegating Nocturnal to a little box. 1 grenade and that Mira's gone. Hopefully, I mean, it doesn't look like Toronto's bringing any grenades regardless. So let's see what happens.
attackers have discovered the location
One
of the
second,
bomb.
folks. I'm just going to be taking in some stats.
10 seconds left. 5 seconds left. Attackers are
All right.
working to defuse a bomb.
Tampa is going to look to put themselves onto a powerful match point position, put themselves onto a provisional point, and hopefully take away their first 3 to put them near the top of the East after having a disappointing start against the Calgary Dub Snoozers last week. Here we go. Armor is giving Nocturnal some Wamai magnets to cover off that mirror. Is that mirror window a dummy or something? Are they just leaving that to like waste utility? I mean, interesting, but oh no, Nocturnal's coming right back. It's all right. And obviously, this is a pretty elaborate setup for a gym bedroom hold. I mean, not elaborate, but it's pretty. I don't want to say standard because my team doesn't have the my rank stacks can't do this. Let's see what they're doing. Caleb, he gets the opening frag. He's done better on his entries and his openers so far. He collects XJ. There goes the one of the intel operators on the Toronto Paradox. It leaves Lion to pick up the slack that Dockaby can't do. Munch frags Astro. That is a big pick right there. Astro has far and away been the best player in the lobby so far, and that's not going to bode well for the rest of the Tampa Bay Tidal Wave round. Let's see if the rest of the team can make up for his absence for the remaining minute 40. Arabs, he's pushing into CCTV. There's no footsteps on his radar. He does get a couple under the castle barricade, but being Jackal, he doesn't have any material to deal with that. Caleb gets his second frag of the round. He takes out Haxi. He said, Astro's off the board. Great. Let me take his spot. He's looking to be the next player to break double digits. No player on Toronto is close to that number. He is lit up, though, so he may not be able to do it this round, but I have no doubt if this game continues, he can probably get there. He will get there. Sorry, I spoke too soon. Caleb said, who cares about what my health is? He takes out Munch. Toronto's attacks have spotted before they even got close. They've lost all breaching capabilities, and with so many castle barricades left on the map, them getting into sight seems like a fantasy at the moment. Arabs and LG, they're going to stack up together. They're going to attempt to go through cache construction, but with the setup the Tidal Wave have, it's not going to be easy. Armor takes out LG, and it's all down to Arabs with Jackal in the C7E. He's 6'6", and all he has is 2 claymores and 90 rounds to his name to make anything happen for the Paradox to prevent Tampa from going to match point. Someone's outdoors already. I'm pretty sure that's a run out as Arabs takes out Caleb. Oh, he takes out Armor. It's not an unwinnable situation. Armor goes down, and Arabs doesn't pick up the diffuser. And now he's left to contend with a mirror window. He's left behind diffuser. Arabs collects Nocturnal. It's a 1v1 situation. He's gonna move into sight. I don't know how much intel he has. Ducky and the TCSG is all that stands between Arabs, but he didn't pick up the diffuser. He instead went for the frags. He isn't able, his spirited comeback isn't able to get Toronto a 4th round. Tampa puts themselves on a match point. They're going to look to close it out early here, and I wouldn't be opposed to it because we are on schedule and on time for the first time, folks. Tampa has had a stunning run of rounds so far. They have won 4 in a row. Essentially, the revert. No, this is basically what the Ottawa Rays did to Toronto last week, or last play day. It's Toronto collected some rounds, and somehow they've just forgotten how to play the game, and Tampa's taken 4 rounds in a row. And now they're on match point. They're looking like they could close it out. This could be the exact same scoreline as Toronto lost to last week. I think pretty soon we have to start questioning What do we do? What does Toronto do to get out of this rut? Because the transfer window isn't for another few play days. And Toronto can't afford to keep dropping points like this as everyone else continues to rack them up. Playing in the stronger conference, every point matters. The least they can do is try to force an overtime here. But unless they clean it up, it's not looking likely. But credit where credit is due. I questioned Astro and Caleb's abilities earlier in the game, but they've stepped up big
10
time.
seconds left.
Both have combined for 24 kills through 9 rounds here. Definitely making a name and a statement for the Tampa Bay Tidal Wave. There is firepower on that team, and firepower that you need to watch out for. So far, I think that is close to one of the highest kill counts we've had so far, and one of the better KDs, 14 and 6, that is. Let's see if he can increase that a couple more, with what could be the final round, or can Toronto dig deep and force an overtime to guarantee themselves at least 1 point and ensure every team in the East comes out of this playday with 1 point. XJ, he takes some opening damage as he pushes into dirt. He lights up Caleb. Caleb is on about a quarter, maybe 20 less inside of dirt. They've opted to leave dirt unreinforced to take the gunfight head on, but so far it hasn't worked in their favor as XJ wins the the health transaction. Astro collects his 15th frag. TM Munch, who was such a big factor fragging wise last week or on Monday, has been a non-factor here so far. He's stuck at 6 and 8, not the performance you want to see. No players except for Arabs on the Toronto Paradox side are positive right now. Armor collects Haxi with the Mossberg M590. He's up to 7 kills. Astro collects his 16th. He takes out Arabs. It's a 5v2. Toronto's falling apart at the seams. The Mossberg collects another. Armor close to the double-digit club, but I don't think there's going to be another round to make that happen. XJ's sitting. He gets the footstep cue as he takes out Armor. It's not looking good for the Paradox. I think XJ is going to look to stat pad a bit here. It's a 1v4 situation. He's going to get lit up by I think that's Astro. It is Astro looking to get his 17th. He's going to go upstairs. Is he going to go for a jump out, a run out? Let's see what he's going to do here. He has 1 impact to his name. He's going around into stock. He's coming around. He's like a shark preying on blood in the water. He knows XJ's lit up. XJ knows where he's coming from. Oh, XJ predicted it correctly. He guesses right, and he takes out Astro. Puts an end to his reign of terror for this game, because I still doubt there's going to be another round. There's 35 seconds on the clock. XJ has the same amount of health as a junior chicken. $3. Ducky, Nocturnal, full health. So much intel left on the board. 3 Banshee devices, 2 Maestro cameras, and 1 Toxic Babe with a SMG-11 angle on the blue stairs. XJ is going to stat pad, and I'm already going to call this one for the Tampa Bay Tidal Wave, as they're going to win this game 7-3 in dominating fashion as the Toronto Paradox struggles continue. The second place team from last season falls once more. Tampa takes it 7-3 on Clubhouse off the back of a 5-round streak at the end, starting from the end of the first half.